I'm Ben Leo from Marathonbet TV, and this is Matt Holland's FA Cup predictions. Marathonbet TV, Matt Holland, thanks for joining us.
No problem at all.
It's the second week of your column for Marathonbet.
Yeah.
Last week, you had a couple of correct predictions for the Premier League.
I had a better Sunday, I think, than I had on a Saturday, didn't I?
Yep.
The Premier League's so difficult to predict this season. It's been really hard.
Roller coaster. Luckily, you can have a break this weekend. It's the FA Cup.
Yep.
We've got 7 fixtures for you to predict, starting with Arsenal and Hull City, a repeat of last year's fixture, and of course the 2014 final.
Yeah, and Arsenal came out on top in both of those. So I think they probably will again. Hull have obviously got promotion as their #1 priority this season. So I would imagine that Arsenal will come out on top. I'm going to go for Arsenal to win 2-0.
The second biggest fixture probably of the weekend, or the biggest arguably, City against Chelsea.
Yeah. Difficult to predict this one. Obviously it's at Chelsea. And City, I think, have got a Champions League game just 3 days later in Kiev. So I think there's going to be quite a few changes made by Manchester City in this game. Chelsea in good form, unbeaten under Hiddink since he's taken charge again. So I'm going to go for Chelsea to edge it. 2-1 Chelsea.
Potentially one of the finalists in that tie as well, do you think?
Possibly. I think both of those would be amongst the favourites, as are Arsenal, holders and won it the last 2 years. Man United will be hoping they can win some silverware as well this year.
Moving on to Spurs and Palace. Palace have had a torrid time in the Premier League of late. Is this a welcome distraction for them, the FA Cup?
Yeah, probably. And away from home as well. Sometimes, they've been struggling a little bit at Selhurst Park as well. But Spurs have been able to manage all the competitions really well. Early on in the season, the Europa League, the Premier League, they're playing some really good football at the moment, very consistent. I'd still tip Spurs to come out on top. And
what about Spurs for the league as well, just going back to the Premier League?
I think they've got a great chance. They're probably the most consistent team over the last 10 games. The way they've played, they've been good defensively. My only concern is if that Harry Kane was to get injured, because he's such an important player for them up top. You wonder who else is going to score the goals if he's not involved. But in terms of consistency, I think they've got a great chance.
Moving on to Shrewsbury, the lowest ranked team left in the Cup. They're taking on Man United at home.
Absolutely. Another potential banana skin for Man United. Went to Derby last round and came through that one. Not in great form at the moment. Shrewsbury will love taking the scalp of Man United, that's for sure. But I think that ultimately United will come out on top in this. Mickey Mellon's team will probably come to the end of their run, and I'm going to go for United to win it 3-1.
And Bournemouth-Everton, another one of the ties, your old club, Bournemouth?
Yeah. Everton, I think, are a team that desperately needs some silverware. Roberto Martinez will be desperate to get some silverware at Everton.
They absolutely pounded West Brom at the weekend, didn't they? But came away with nothing.
Yeah, no, they were excellent and got beat 1-0. And their form has actually been very good of late, Everton's. So I would probably tip them maybe to come out on top of this. Again, because Bournemouth have, in the FA Cup, made lots of changes. Every round they've made changes. And I think the priority for them is staying up in the Premier League this season. So I think that they'll play a weakened team, and I think that Everton will come out on top.
Talking of Palace, Watford beat them on Saturday, 2-1 at Selhurst Park. They take on Leeds.
Yeah, I can't see beyond Watford either. I think that Troy Deeney in good form, him and Igalo are a good partnership up top. So at the moment, I couldn't see beyond Watford winning that one.
Reading, West Brom at Madejski.
West Brom have made it difficult in the FA Cup for themselves. They've drawn at home and then had to go away from home twice now in replays. They're perhaps happy to be away in this one, dig out a result. They dug out a result at Everton. So I'd probably edge towards West Brom going through in this tie.
And give us, Matt, your thoughts on the FA Cup in general. I think you had 30 appearances?
I didn't have a great record in the FA Cup as a player. It's a fantastic competition. I absolutely loved it. Growing up, I used to have everybody around the house, dads, friends, family, everyone, 30 people watching the FA Cup final. It used to be, on the bus going to the game, the hotel before it, all that sort of stuff, the build-up. Absolutely loved the FA Cup. Never had a great record though as a player, which was a bit frustrating. Quarter-finals was the furthest I got, but I absolutely loved it.